Layopi, everybody. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. So, let me just get the BGM audio out and the desktop audio in. Okay, here we are. We are finally back. It's been like 8 million years since I've last been able to read Umineko. It feels like it's been like 5 years, but it's been like a month-ish since I've last read. Man, the Umineko streams planning have been cursed the last few months. Like, the last Umineko stream I wanted to do for last year was blocked because I got sick with COVID for Christmas, like right after I had gone to a convention. So, and I was absolutely beaten on Thursday, so there was no feasible way for me to read Umineko on the Thursday before Christmas. Then I went on my vacation, and then the first stream on January that I wanted to have of Umineko also got cancelled because I also got sick again after a convention. And although I wasn't completely like dead and my throat wasn't super busted, I was still pretty beaten. Like, I had a fever and everything, so I was like, well, fuck, then no Umineko reading, I guess. So, but now finally I can finally do an Umineko stream. And man, I've been wanting to be like somewhere in the middle of episode 7 by now, but because of all the sickness and the vacations and all the cancelled Umineko streams, we haven't progressed even a single bit in episode 7. Boy, it's going to I hope I manage to finish Umineko like episode 7 and 8 by spring, because I want to finally get into Golden Fantasia. I can't wait anymore. I have been resisting so long. You can't keep Golden Fantasia from me too much longer anymore. I can't resist anymore. I know my man is playable. You can't keep him from me anymore. You can't do that. And by the way, I forgot to put him on the stream overlay. He has to come back. Where is he? There he is. There him is, my tiny man. My tiny butler man. But first, hello, Tristan Unchained. Hello. Good to see you. Hi, Tsuki. How you doing? Oh, it's been indeed very long. Everything looks lovely. Thank you. After my Christmas vacation, I was finally able to have my re-debut. Unfortunately, I had to go. I had to stop streaming for 2 weeks because I got sick for 1 week. Even though I managed to have like an art stream, but immediately afterwards I fell ill. And then last week I didn't stream at all because I wanted to not stream during the global strike week. I didn't want to stream during that week. So here I am back now, and finally I'm able to continue reading Umineko. Like, I've been so pissed that every single Umineko stream I've been planning since December has had to get cancelled because of illness or something else. And this time I even started half an hour later than usual, because Umineko streams I tend to start at 7:30 p.m. But I completely forgot. See, it's been so long that I forgot that the usual hour I start in. But it's okay, because I think it's okay if we have a shorter reading session tonight, because I haven't been used to reading very long again because of a few months. So going a little bit slowly, bit by bit back into Rokkenjima, I think is a good choice. So, let me try to remember what happened last time before we dive in. Okay, so I think the last time I streamed episode 7, I believe we had seen the Kinzo flashback with Piche. And we got to talk a little bit about Maria, about how she first met Beato. And I believe we also got to see some funky stuff with Shannon, that when Willard was asking her to bring Cannon over while she was still in the shift, she was like, no, I will call Cannon, but I have to leave. So it pretty much confirms that Shannon and Cannon cannot be two separate people at the same time. To me, my theory is just that, I mean, pretty much confirmed from episode 6, Beato, Cannon, and Shannon, for me at least from my interpretation, are facets of one person for me. Or at least they are bits and pieces or hints about a whole person. So, and episode 7 pretty much confirms that at least Cannon and Shannon are the same-ish person. And thus, therefore, cannot be on the stage at the same time. Oh, I hope you feel better now. I do. I feel much better. I'm still, like, in terms of physical health, I am mostly okay. I have recovered from my colds. I still have a little bit of a coughing fit here and there, like a dry coughing fit. And my knees have been feeling so sore. Like, I've been struggling with knee problems since the beginning of last year or even longer. I assume it's because of my weight gain or something else. But I've been trying to mitigate it by using my standing desk, and like after lunch I tried to stand for like an hour. And shake my feet a little, my legs. But I think the biggest problem was being like sick for 2 weeks and laying down kind of made my knees hurt more, especially when I had COVID. Like, my joints were hurting like hell, and the last week in which I was sick in January was also pretty bad on my joints. It hurt like hell, but it's feeling mostly better now. And yeah, in terms of freelancing, I January didn't perform the best. I got some unexpected bills too, but I managed to get it sorted today. And hopefully this month will perform a little bit better financially because my government help runs out in March. But yeah. Okay, that's enough talk on my side on how I've been doing lately since the last time I've read. For those who will later watch on YouTube and for the VOD watchers, I'm just gonna say in advance just for them, Happy New Year. I hope you had a good New Year, and I hope you're well. Sorry my uploads have been late. I'm busy with freelancing work. If you want to keep up to date with what I do, just follow me on other social media. Okay. Summary for last episode done. Life update done for the majority. Let's actually now start reading. Oh, I need to turn the brightness of my ring light a bit down. It's a little bit too... Okay, so I do remember we talked to Maria and we wanted to ask her some more questions, but then Byrne basically took the chess piece that controls Maria and was like, no, stop asking Maria questions, go do something else.
次期当主様のせいでお見苦しいとこを見せちゃって。
あざになってねえか。あいつマジで容赦ねえ。
Oh yeah, she's talking about the butt pinching, isn't she?
ジェシカ、何か言ったかい？何も何も。
Oh, I missed this.
もう十分懲りたって。
Wait, I think the audio of the game might be a little bit too loud, so let me turn it down. I think this should be fine. This is the usual setting that I normally work with. Leon had apparently been chatting with the adult siblings, spun around with a smile and stared at Jessica. Looks like the older siblings firmly in control around here.
あいつ、その上地獄耳だな。ようやく。 リオンってやつが理解できてきた。
そうそうそうそう。
I love how Willard just giving like the biggest stink eye. He's like, ah.
昔から
I'm starting to
妙に
get
勘が
him.
良くて、その上ほら大人受けが妙にいいし、私は家でも学校でも比べられてる。
そういえばリオンは中学も高校も生徒会長だったね。
Leon being a child who gets praised a lot by all the adults is something unusual in the Yoshiromiya family. At least, maybe he is getting praised, but maybe it's surface level. But at least in this episode thus far, the family has given kind of a somewhat peaceful, more peaceful impression. Like, they aren't at each other's throat like I expect.
バドミントンの部長もやってたよね。
行く先々でリオンと比較されてひでえ目にあったというわけだ。
私は中学に入って行ったぜ。その時はもう副会長やってた。来年は生徒会長になる気だろう。私の肩身が狭くなるからやめてくれって。でも翌年にちゃっかり立候補して当選しちゃいやがった。
Well, the butt pinches mayhaps pressured the other students to vote for him.
でもそう。
And he is naturally charming, I would say.
今度こそやめてくれって言ったのに、その時点でもまた副会長で、また3年になるのと同時に会長になりやがった。父さんはちやほやちやほや、母さんはあなたも妹として恥ずかしくないよ頑張りなさいってチクチクチクチク。
I see Jessica is a little bit jealous.
でもそんなリオンの妹であることを誇りにも思ってるんでしょ。
Hello, more Leon and Willard time. Hi, Umineko, how you doing? And yes, indeed, it is more Leon and Willard time.
ああ、ねえぜ。全然ねえぜ。
上が完璧だと息も詰まら。だが他人は他人、お前はお前だ。
Yeah, getting compared to your siblings sucks. I can't confirm.
お前のしたいように精一杯好きにしたらいい。
Like, even if you are the person who's being praised, like if you are the perfect sibling being compared to the, in parentheses, inferior sibling, that sucks a lot. Or like when your parents use you, like your successes, to compare to your other sibling who's struggling. It sucks even on that side, and this happened a lot on my side. Like, my parents compared my successes a lot to my older brother, and I really hated it when they did that. It's like, it's not fair. He's doing his best.
もちろん。
But yes, Jessica, you will be fine. You will be very fine. At least in this fragment.
後ろ宮リオンの妹として恥ずかしくないよ。あと引き継げってうるさい。生徒会に入れだの、バドミントンやれだの。
軽音楽はやっていないのか。
Did she pinch him now?
それは秘密。内緒。
Oh my god. Will, please. I know you are omnipresent and you have omniscience. You have like the knowledge of all previous games, but please chill. Apparently she's keeping it a secret from her family. She does it every game board, man. Interesting. People tend to blame things on their family and how they were raised. But this Jessica girl always likes doing the same thing, even in a different world and a different family. It's admirable that she has such a true and constant interest in something.
俺は好きだぞ。ペッタンペッタンとか。スイーツスイーツとか。
Jessica's gonna beat him up. Nothing wrong with the extraordinarily accomplished sort, like Leon, but kids who act their age do have their charms. Can you imagine if Jessica had pulled out her brass knuckles and just punched Willard in the mouth? Yeah, well, hi, Edge Driver, how you doing?
そういう生き方
Oh,
が
look
一
at
番
her.
だ。謳歌しろ。青春を。
そりゃどうも
Yes.
ありがとう。
Apparently, no one had ever told Jessica that they approved of how she lived, and the direct way Will had put it made her turn red and hang her head in embarrassment.
今度はお前たちに話が聞きたい。
さっきマリアちゃんとしていた？
そうだ。ベアトリーチェについて知っていることを聞きたい。
マリアちゃんはオカルトや魔女のことが大好きだからね。彼女にとってベアトリーチェはアニメのヒロインと同じ。何か些細なことがあるたびにそれを魔女の魔法によるいたずらだと信じてる。
お前は大人だな。
当然さ。子供の夢は子供の時にしか見られない。
You can't dream as an adult,
その
come
貴重な
on.
経験を尊重するのが大人の仕事だと思ってるよ。
So George confirmed as the one adult who won't be like Santa's not real. he won't. He knows he knows it, but he will never say it.
お前とは話が合いそうだ。
He's the type that will tell it to like the wife or a husband. Or a relative, so like, yeah, one of these days they'll grow up and realize Santa is not real, and then the child, be it the niece or his own child, is behind the door listening in, and then the child bursts the door down and is like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Santa's not real. What do you mean? He's not real! You lied to me! And then they just burst out running, and that's how they find out Santa is not real. Oh, that happened to my brother LMAO. Oh shit, that it feels bad, man. My older brother, I think, discovered that Santa is not real because he happened to wake up like once at 5-ish a.m. and my dad was awake placing the presents under the tree, and he saw it and he hid away. Like, it was a stealth game mission from how my brother told me. There we go. George's position was that Beatrice was nothing more than a fairy tale. However, that phrase, respecting a child's dreams, is the adult thing to do. That might be worthy of future scrutiny. When she got candy from Beatrice by magic, Maria probably got excited and told George and the others. Then the adults followed his lead and actively supported that story as adults should. However, we can conceive a similar situation coming up beside an adult interacting with a child. For example, what about the subordinate interacting with a superior? If Kinzo, tyrant of the Yoshiromiya family, claimed that Beatrice existed and had revived, perhaps the other members of the family would actively support that story as his subordinates should. Though Beatrice only appeared directly in front of a limited number of people, it's probably safe to say that the concept of her existence penetrated deeply within the Yoshiromiya family, even among those who had never seen her. However, no matter how deeply that concept penetrated, she was only viewed as a sort of fairy tale character. It would be necessary to transform the concept of that character from an imaginary fairy tale into reality. So a person attempting to do this would need to perform acts that no one could explain without magic. These acts were the witch incidents, starting with the window opening pranks played by Beato the Elder, and ending with the closed room murders. Yeah, Beato the Elder talked about this, saying that the anti-magic power filling the mansion would be weakened bit by bit the more she made her existence known. Beatrice, why were you willing to go so far to make everyone beside you accept your existence? Because that fiction will become the truth if everyone acknowledges it? Because at that moment, the being Beatrice will be acknowledged and will become human? In that case, until Beatrice is acknowledged by all people, she's less than human. She's furniture. We come back. Why would furniture want to become human? I seem to remember this being a theme in the previous game, and in multiple games. It's because they want to gain a right. Furniture cannot be. I believe the word is love. So they try to become human because they want the right to eat, which in this case I assume again is love. It's extremely simple. After all, it's directly connected to the reason Chick Beata was born in the first place.
なるほどな。分かってはいるが複雑だ。
Yeah, you can neglect the heart.
ベアトリーチェの葬儀に参加しておいてこんなことを言うのも申し訳ないけれど、僕も説明できるほどベアトリーチェという人物のことに詳しくないんです。
Yeah.
申し訳ない。その話は
He has not
ここ
met
に
her
住んで
after
いる
all.
ジェシカちゃんの方が僕よりももう少しは詳しいかもしれない。そういえばジェシカちゃん、こちらの方を紹介したっけ？
Yes, she has, I think.
実はまだ
No, she hasn't. Oops.
お客様がいらっしゃるってのに尻ばっかつねるどっかの誰かのせいできちんと挨拶もできなかったぜ。
Oh yeah, Leon was relentless pinching her butt, so she didn't even have the chance. A bit late, Jessica looked embarrassed for acting rudely in front of an unfamiliar guest. I mean, he's acting very familiar himself, so come on, give yourself some slack. She cleared her throat and made a beautiful bow that didn't fit well with her normal attitude. She's doing her best. She even lifted the corners of her skirt in a curtsy. Aww.
はじめまして、
She's doing her best.
ジェシカと申します。本日は後ろ宮家へようこそ。いや、そのお日柄もよく、
ウィラードだ。
She's trying so hard.
ウィルと呼べ。
Yes, I keep saying Willard, but I forgot he prefers being called Will. Jessica's greeting had been of the old-fashioned sort, so Will also treated her like an old-fashioned lady, bending down on one knee, taking Jessica's right hand and kissing it. Oh, he's smooth. He's so smooth. Not expecting her greeting to be returned in such an old-fashioned and formal way, Jessica turned red and was unable to speak. However, Will had returned the greeting in what he thought was a perfectly serious way, so he didn't understand what was making Jessica's face glow.
何かおかしいことをしたか？
Yes, you've done something very, very smooth.
いや、その全然。
I wonder if Jessica dreams of Canon greeting her just like this.
お前の知っているベアトリーチェの話が聞きたい。
A sparkle leaked around the edges of Will's right hand, which was grasping Jessica's hand. Oh! Looks like the theater-going power is having its effect on Jessica. Didn't mean for that to happen. Oh well.
ベアトリーチェ。
Fuck it, we ball! I want to ask him for smooth glasses jokingly, but also seriously.
話してもいいけど、その。
I mean,
約束してくれる？
I think Will would be like the perfect teacher to teach you like how to be smooth, but simultaneously how to be very rude. More like, not rude, more like very blunt. Beatrice is it?
絶対に笑わないって。今にして思うと、そのきっと寝ぼけてたんだと思うから。
Oh, tell.
お前は何を知っている？笑わない。聞かせろ。
いいよ。どこから話そうかな。
He's not gonna sugarcoat it. He does not. There have been times where he's been pinched on his ass multiple times because he just wouldn't stop being blunt. And Leon was like, not in this house. To me, the Golden Witch Beatrice is sort of like one of the 7 mysteries of the Ushinomiya family. You've heard of those, right? Almost all schools have a set of tall tales or ghost stories that get passed down. Like on some days, the piano in the music room will start playing by itself, or the skeleton in the science room dances around at night. Everyone's heard of them. But of course, that doesn't mean they believe in them. The stories about Beatrice were the same. It was just one of those strange tales about our way too big mansion. The servants would sometimes talk about seeing things during their night patrols. Sometimes I felt a bit annoyed about them turning my home into a place for ghost stories, but I didn't pay it any more attention than that. That's how little it mattered to me. So during my normal everyday life, I would completely forget about the name Beatrice. So of course, when that huge portrait was first hung, it definitely felt creepy. Even I tried not to meet her eyes after dark. So it's no surprise that the servants found it eerie. But it only lasted for a short while. We all walked by the portrait every day. We gradually got used to it and eventually bored of it. I didn't really care anymore about the portrait of the mistress from grandfather's delusions.
だろうな。年に何度も来ない親戚連中ならともかく。
そういうこと。だから親族会議になると親戚たちが必ず肖像画の前で決まってベアトリーチェの話をする。だから定期的に思い出させられるのさ。
Maria especially, huh?
ベアトリーチェ、また遊びに来たよ。
Oh, she's baby. Please protect.
また新しい魔法を書いたの。後で見てね。
Maria is too good for this world. Speaking of Maria, I bought at the end of December, I had just a little bit money left over. So I decided to treat myself and I got like the Umineko anime guidebook for the sete. But I also managed to find a tiny Maria figure that didn't cost a leg and a lung. So I have a tiny Maria now standing at my desk. And my cat, every time my cat comes onto my table, she keeps attacking the Maria figure. And I'm like, leave Maria alone, stop it, stop. Just today, she came onto my table, she toppled Maria over, and then just left. I don't know what her issue is with Maria. She had an issue with a Luffy cat minifigure that I also have on my desk. Like, I have a small cat Nami and a small cat Luffy next to each other, and she would only attack cat Luffy. Cat Nami was left alone, but cat Luffy, she every single time she tossed down and tried to eat, and I was like, why Luffy? What did he ever do to you? The cat is trying to eliminate the cute competition. Yeah, I think she's jealous. Your cat is Sanji joking. Nah, my cat is just possessive of me, I guess. She's like, no, only I am allowed to have your attention. Your cat is rosa coded. No! Please God, no.
Maria ちゃんは本当にベアトリーチェが好きだな。
Jesus Christ, if my cat was rosa coded, I think I'd cry every single day out of pain.
おじい様が肖像画を掲げて以来、大喜びみたいだ。
あれ、エンジェは？
キリエおばさんと薬を飲みに戻ったよ。
ああ。
エンジェは本当に体が弱えな。
Oh, baby!
バトラとは大違いだぜ。
Aww.
緊張すると体調を崩すタイプなんだよ。僕も昔は遠足の日や映画の日なんかに限って体調を崩したりしたもんさ。
Oh god, but for me it was the other way around. So whenever I used to be super highly stressed in high school, like so extremely stressed, and I think in college as well, that the moment holidays came and I had vacation, I immediately fell ill. I believe this is called the letdown effect. So for me it was the polar opposite. I used to be so stressed that I wouldn't fall ill until I stopped being stressed. But now I think it's similar to Anji again. Whenever I get too stressed, I get headaches. I feel ill on my stomach and I can't work at all.
それに比べたら マリアはタフだぜ。
Is it a wonder why Maria is so
飯
tough?
島からこっちに来るまでの間、ずっとベアトリーチェの話三昧さ。
It's her bestie.
ここしばらくずっとだけど、ちょっと行き過ぎだよな。
No! She's not taking it far. It's her bestie.
いいんじゃないかな。子供の想像遊びだよ。ジェシカちゃんは子供がサンタクロースに会ったことがあるって言い出し嘘だって言っちゃうのかい？
Would you, Jessica?
まあ、そこまでは言わねえけどさ。
Maria kept talking to the portrait as though it was an old friend. That's because it is her bestie. She promised to play with it later, as if she was talking to a living human. George, a man, seemed to think that this behavior from a younger member of the opposite sex was cute. That's a weird way to phrase it, but to be perfectly frank, Jessica, who was the same sex as Maria, found this behavior a bit unpleasant, even though she realized that she was dealing with a younger girl. At one time, even I was fascinated by anime heroines and other fictional characters. However, Maria's behavior seems so to signify something more direct than mere fascination. I wonder why. It's something more definite, more vivid. Am I the only one who notices something odd about her? I'll bet the others all notice too, but try to ignore it because of that adult dignity George Nissan is always talking about. No, Jessica, your intuition is correct. The reason why is just that she knows Beato for real.
申し訳ないね、諸君。当主様は高尚な研究で大変お忙しい。
Yeah, yes, as usual.
昼は書斎で取られると仰せだ。
Until a second ago, Kinzo's children had been complaining that eating lunch with their father would give them indigestion. Sorry. But now that they knew he wasn't coming, they started grumbling about how he should at least spare the time to come down during the annual family conferences. No, we shouldn't. Kinzo is a terrible father.
それでは皆様、ランチを始めさせていただきます。
Kinzo is like, at least for me, is the type of father that as soon as he enters dinner, it ruins dinner. It's done.
遠方よりお集まりの皆様をおもてなしできるよう、この号だ。腕によりをかけてご用意させていただきました。
Oh, Goda, it's been so long. How I miss seeing that butt chin. And his cooking enthusiasm. Goda flexing his cooking is always something that I think is kind of like one of those funny things that I enjoy seeing in Umineko. Like you have Kumasawa's mackerel fascination, and then you have Goda that is like at every second he can, he's flexing them cooking muscles, you know? And everyone is like, none of us asked. Negative Riz, exactly. He thinks it's positive Riz. He's flexing so hard, and I think the only person who cares is Natsuhi. Everyone else is like, yeah, that sounds cool. No one's stomach would fail to rumble after hearing that from the great chef Goda. By the time the splendid dishes were laid out, everyone had stopped talking about Kinzo's absence. Everyone comes to the family, like I just said, everyone is like, they don't really care about Goda's flexing. However, I have to say, if I got food for free from a good chef like Goda, I think I'd come to an awful family conference like this too. It was now Anje's absence that was being discussed. Apparently her stomach ache had gotten so bad that both she and Kiria couldn't make it to lunch. Aww. Can I see Kiria taking care of small Anje, please?
Goda, 後でキリエさんに相談して、おかゆのようなものを用意するように。
Oh, yeah, please make some porridge for baby.
気を利かせてくれてありがとう。本当にすまねえな。
Oh my god! You don't have to do him like that! The Goda has been reduced to furniture. The poor man.
どうも緊張に弱い。
But he has negative risk, so what can we do?
幼いうちはそんなもんや。
with them
吐い
youngins.
たりしないだけ可愛いもんやで。
ジョージはよく吐いたわね。昔は本当に病弱だったのよ。ねえ。
昔の話は許してよ。食事時にする話じゃないよ。
Oh my god.
おー
It is George roasting hour, I see. Also, I don't think... Did I ever mention that Hideyoshi is like my favorite of the adults? Like, of the not Ushiromiya adults, because otherwise I think Eva and Kirie and Natsuhi are my favorite parents. Like, Eva is not a good mother in the sense of like, she's pretty abusive herself, but even if it's not in the Rosa tier, she does have a specific sense of extreme control that is like, you know, not good. But her character is just that deeply fascinating to me, and Kirie is just awesome. She's a little bit toxic, but I love her. And Natsuhi is just, man, she's a whole unit.
エンジェかわいそう。
Yes,
こんな美味しいご飯なのに食べられない？
I
かわい
desperately
そうにな。
I desperately also really need to see interactions with Maria and small Anje.
元気になったらその分いっぱい遊んであげようぜ。
Yes.
ダメ。マリアとは遊べない。
Oh, is this after?
なんだよ。どうして？
だってマリアはベアトリーチェと遊ぶんだもん。だからエンジェとは遊べない。
Okay.
ベアトリーチェと遊ぶってまたどっかに一人で行ってぶつくさ独り言言いながら本を読んでるだけだろ。
Jessica slightly regretted that she hadn't been more tactful. However, she couldn't wipe away that uncomfortable feeling she got every time Maria talked about Beatrice, and that feeling slipped out through her words.
一人じゃないよ。ベアとも一緒だもん。
Maria may be young, but she doesn't know how to read a person's tone. She immediately burst out in anger, drawing the attention of everyone in the room. Normally, Rosa would have stopped her at this point. However, she happened to have gone to the bathroom at that moment. How convenient! And maybe better so. So there was no one to calm Maria down.
ジェシカはかわいそうだね。毒素の塊だもの。ベアとはまだまだ魔力が弱いからジェシカの前になんか現れたら焼き散らされてしまう。でもね、いつかきっとジェシカの前にも現れてくれるよ。誰の前にも。そして黄金鏡の扉を開いてもらうの。でも招かれるかわからないね。だけどマリアだけは連れて行ってもらえるの、黄金鏡に。でもジェシカはダメだよ。ジェシカはダメ。
Oh my god, she's roasting
ベア
Jessica.
トリーチェのことをバカにする無知猛昧愚昧曖昧愚かも極まれりの汚らしい毒素まみれの人間風情。
Girl, Jesus! Sheesh! Maria went hard. Poor Jessica.
ベアトリーチェのことをバカにされた時のマリアと来たら
8-year-olds can smell fear! And someone makes fun of Beato, it's like Maria becomes a different person. Yeah, pretty much!
マリア二重人格説なんてのもあったな。
I don't think she does. I think it's more like a coping mechanism and like her adopting Beato's mannerisms.
二重人格。ああ、そいつは多分ぴったりな表現だろうな。あるいはそれがマリアにとっての理想の人格だったのかもしれない。
So for those who do interpret Maria as autistic, like I do, like of being in the autism spectrum. So here's a fun fact about, at least that I can share as being someone in the spectrum myself. So undiagnosed autistic people, and it's a behavior and coping mechanism very commonly seen in young autistic women and girls, and even in adult women. Like, I subconsciously still do that even now, that in a form of masking we copy paste the behavior of other people, believing that's how you basically act appropriately. And sometimes it even comes into like copying mannerisms that you yourself like from someone else, even if it's not necessarily 100% socially appropriate, I suppose. So I personally at least interpret Maria having this, on quotation, different personality more like just her copy pasting Beato's behavior, because we know Beato, at least outwardly, she's very much that imposing witch who laughs a lot and has very strong language, right? She's very, very blunt. So that's how I at least interpret it.
自分のなりたいもう一人の自分を生み出すの話か。
なんで私のモットーを知ってんだよ。
難しく考えるな。頭痛になら。
He just knows. Don't think too hard, Jessica. He's like God. He knows everything. It was something Jessica once told Kanon. She had been talking about how anyone can create another self in the image of the person they want to be. I think we heard those words somewhere near the beginning of the second game. Yeah, we did in the Kanon flashback. Like the Kanon and Jessica flashback. Now that I think about it, some very interesting stuff had been mentioned since very early on.
誰だって自分が本当になりたい自分があるんだ。でもなれない。生活やしがらみの中に今の自分がいるからこそ、今の自分を変えるなんてことできやしないんだ。
そうだな。自分を変えるとは環境も変えるということだ。
Yeah,
それは容
for
易な
most
ことじゃね。
part.
だから私は今の自分はそのままに、本当になりたい自分をもう一人生み出すことを思いついたんだ。
両家のお嬢様であることを強いられ窒息しそうな日々にお前はなりたい自分を見出した。
I'm trying to remember. I think this was a reason why Jessica secretly did music, right?
だからって家で破天荒はできないさ。母さんに怒鳴られるのがオチだぜ。だからそうした。家にいるおとなしく親の言うことを聞く私に加え、本当になりたい私をもう一人生み出したんだ。
家ではおとなしく親の言うことを聞き、表ではやりたいようにやる。正しい生き様だ。胸を張れ。
Yeah.
ありがとう。
Yeah, I do have to commend Jessica for it.
まあつまりなりたい自分ってのはその気になりゃ案外作り出せるもんなんだよな。マリアも同じなんだろうと思った。
興奮してまくし立てるマリアもそうだというのか。
あれこそがそう思うことがあるよ。
親族で一番の年少で可愛がられてはいるが、尊敬されているわけではない。
Especially not by her mom.
何を知っても覚えても、そんなのは親族の誰かが知ってる。マリアに威張れることは何もない。私たちはマリアが何かを覚えるたびに微笑ましく褒めてたつもりだけど、
マリアは何かの権威になりたかったということか。
It's something that all young boys and girls think when they want to shake off their childhood. It's not a bad feeling when you learn something new and your parents praise you. But when you realize that your parents already knew that thing, it sometimes feels like they're talking down to you. When a kid learns their one-digit times table, their parents will probably praise them. However, inconsiderate parents will sometimes ask mean questions like, then what is 11 times 11? Or what is 16 times 16? Or something similar. Oh yeah. That didn't happen with me, with my parents, thankfully, but you know, that did happen with like other like school children doing that to each other. Or me hearing other parents do that to their kids. If that happens, the kid will lose his feeling of accomplishment and will start to feel as though he would never surpass his parents.
だからマリアが誰も知らないオカルトに関心を持ち、その知識を深めていったのは容易に想像できる。多分マリアにとっての理想の自分というのは、みんなに尊敬されるオカルトの権威の自分なんだ。
普段の生活でオカルトの話ばかりしていたらローザにぶたれるからな。お前がそうであるように普段はもう一人の自分を隠している。
Yeah, she's forced to, like, it's horrible that she...
私はこんな時のマリアをそうだと思ってる。いや、本当の自分が普段の自分を塗りつぶしてしまったと言うべきかな。私もそういうのをちょっと覚えが。真相の霊場に憧れて病弱な自分になれたらいいなと思って、咳する真似ばっかしてたら悪い癖になって。
Oh? Yuppie! Hope you're doing good. Hi Connor! How you doing? I'm doing good. How about you?
咳込めば周りが優しくしてくれるからか。
いや嫌な話の流れになった時とか空気悪い時とかに流れを断ち切れるし。
なるほど。それもまたお前のなりたいもう一人の自分。
That's also very sad.
この話は内緒で頼むぜ。
Then, just what is Maria's other self? Basically, the witch that she wants to be. She wants to be like Beato. An authority on the occult who can out-argue even adults. Basically, that's what she wants to be in terms of, like, how you can write differently. Like, if I say she wants to be a witch, maybe this is how you can describe it differently. Or else, does it have to do with her relationship with witches? Maybe both. Either way, denying Beatrice in front of Maria is clearly taboo. In her search for something more than her everyday life, Maria found it in Beatrice and inside herself. In that case, is going to the Golden Land with Beatrice Maria's wish? I think so, yeah.
話が脱線したか。まあそんな感じで、ローザおばさんが戻ってくるまでマリアは癇癪を起こしちゃって、よせばいいのに私も売り言葉に買い言葉で返しちゃって。
Oh, you fought back. What happened?
いるわけないと。
そんなとこいるもんなら合わせてみろよって。マリアが大泣きしだした頃にはさすがに失言が過ぎたかと後悔もしたぜ。
Oh no.
それで
I mean, to be fair, Maria really went off on Jessica, so she was probably also healed.
親族会議自体は私が一方的にマリアに対しギスギスして終わり、マリアはケロリとしてたよ。一人でどこかに行ってまたベアトリーチェと一緒に遊んでたうんぬんと楽しそうに語ってたから。
That's probably because she did, and we have found out in episode 4 what Maria's coping mechanism is when she meets with someone who hurts her feelings. We've seen it very vividly with Rosa.
私を含め誰も頭ごなしに否定したりなんかしない。もうそういうものなんだと思って聞き流して無視してるってのが正解さ。
親族会議の話はそれで終わりなのか。
この話自体はね、私がしたいのはこれが終わって親族がみんな帰ってからの話さ。
Okay, do tell. Even after the conference ended, I still felt a bit uncomfortable. If Mari had just stayed mad, we would have been made up with each other, and I could have put it all behind me. But since Maria got over it, it felt like I was the only one unsatisfied.
おやお嬢様、どうなさいましたか？お暗い顔を。
ああ、熊沢さんか。
Masawa, our beloved.
いや別に大したことは。
Doing good. My finger hurts. I'm trying my best to play Jin Kazama in Tekken good in comp. Also in competition, you mean? Tekken 8 got me so hard. I I have seen Tekken 8 footage a little bit. It's looking like a very solid game. So I'm very happy to hear you're having a good time with it. I haven't played it yet because I'm not really a Tekken player myself. At least one that gets serious about it, because I kind of need a fight stick for that. And I do have one, but you know, I might try it sometime. But I have, in terms of fighting games, I have more my eye on Under Night 2, which came out at the same time as Tekken. I need to buy Under Night 2 very soon though. This game looks amazing. Thank you! It's a visual novel called Umineko When They Cry. I'm on episode 7 right now.
親族のみんなは無事に帰ったかな。
時間通りならもう新島の空港に疲れているでしょう。お嬢様もお疲れ様でございました。
Oh, Kumasa was my beloved. I love her so much. She's like, goals? How I want to be when I'm old.
私は何もしてねえぜ。使用人のみんなも本当にお疲れ様。
昨日のマリア様との喧嘩をまだ気にしておられるのですか？
Yes.
まあね。
To be fair, Maria didn't apologize for calling her a toxic waste of toxin, basically.
子供の言うことではありませんか。お嬢様ももう高校生なのですから深く気にすることもないでしょうに。
No, come on. She really insulted Jessica. Like, come on. I love Maria, but that was really brutal.
マリアのあれ、子供の言うただのザレ言だと思ってる？
ベアトリーチェ様のお話でございますか？
熊沢さんもベアトリーチェ様と来たもんだ。
Beatrice is the name of grandfather's mistress, the person he's still infatuated with. I realized that, as a servant, Kumasawa-san can speak of her indiscreetly. Still, that's now become the name of the fictitious witch who lives in this mansion, and it's almost natural for people to call her Sama.
ベアトリーチェなんて私たちが森へ行かないよう大人がでっち上げた階段だぜ。それをいつの間にかマリアが面白がって本当にいるかのように振る舞い出しやがった。
そんなことを言っては罰が当たりますよ。ベアトリーチェ様はいるのですから。
Oh, even Kumasawa backs her up.
だからさ、そういうのダメなんだよ、生理的に。ジョージ兄さんの話じゃねえけどさ、サンタなんかいるわけねえとまで騒ぎはしねえぜ。だからってサンタが本当にいるわけじゃねえ。
それは間違いですよ、お嬢様。
間違い？
はい。万物八百万には神様が宿っておられます。
That is a raw line. The gods dwell in all things.
同じようにこの島、このお屋敷にはベアトリーチェ様が宿っておられるのです。神様と同じくベアトリーチェ様も敬っていれば何も害はなしません。お嬢様の言うようにいないも同然でしょう。しかし敬いを忘れれば必ずや罰が当たります。これは何もベアトリーチェ様に限ったことではないのですよ。
罰が当たるなんて上等じゃねえか。会えるもんなら会ってみてえぜ。
お嬢様、そんな罰当たりではいけませんよ。
She's like, don't do it. You will regret it. And well, she doesn't live to regret it, right? At least for those who have read that far.
お嬢様。
Baby girl, baby! Shannon!
本日はお疲れ様でございました。
シャノンにゴーダさんさ、
Yeah, Shannon, my
ベアトリ
beloved.
ーチェの話は知ってるよな。
まあ存じているといえば存じておりますが、それが何か。
The two looked at each other. They looked like a pair who had just heard a clueless person suddenly utter a forbidden word.
ぶっちゃけ聞くぜ。いるの？そんなお化け。
いるかいないかと言われればそれはいないでしょうが、
The way the text just goes so fast now.
多分
It's like Goda is feeling so nervous, even the text is feeling it.
私はきっといらっしゃると思います。
Man, if the theory that I had is true, and Shannon hears this, I'm like, man, feels bad. It feels bad, man.
どうしているって？会ったことあるの？
直接会ったことがあるわけじゃありませんけど。
Well, Jessica, about that. Shannon spoke in detail of how she'd sometimes feel a strange presence or see a silhouette while doing the midnight rounds. And each time she started, Jessica would immediately cut her off, saying she must have seen it wrong or been mistaken. Oh jeez, that hurts.
ゴーダさんだって会ったことあるわけじゃないだろ？
もちろんですとも。しかしまあ
He was being very evasive. Even a man as big as Goda was apparently unable to deny the existence of someone he'd never met. This really didn't sit well with Jessica. She was a resident of this mansion herself. They were acting as though someone else, someone she didn't know, was living here. Of course she didn't like it.
ちょっと待った。今の話をもう一度。
と言いますと？
貴賓室の話ですか？
Goda and Shannon had been recounting several ghost stories about Beatrice. One of those drew a reaction from Jessica.
そうそう。今の貴賓室の話。面白いぜ。
Goda and Shannon glanced at each other. After all, it hadn't been a cool story to either of them.
貴賓室には午前2時に入ってはいけないですか？
午前2時にはベアトリーチェ様が貴賓室にお戻りになるので近づいてはいけないですか？
そうそう、それそれ。
Oh, is she going to try to enter the room at 2 a.m. and then Beato is right there like, sup? Oh god, Grandpa is dragging everyone into his sussy fantasy. Joking. Oh my god. Yeah, pretty much, isn't he?
面白いぜ。どの話もベアトリーチェらしきものを見たの聞いたのって体験談ばっかだけど、その話は違うぜ。午前2時に貴賓室に行けばベアトリーチェ様にお会いできるってわけだ。
She's actually going to try it, I bet you.
それはどうで？
お嬢様、ベアトリーチェ様を悪く言った使用人にはたたりがあると言われています。ましてや貴賓室はベアトリーチェ様のお部屋。
いくらお嬢様でもそれはおよしになられた方が。
貴賓室って今は鍵がかかってるんだっけ？鍵は？
Oh no! She is cooking!
キーボックスにあったでしょうか？
多分源氏様がご自分の席にしまわれていると思います。
Why are you telling her? Why are you telling her? Oh my god, she's looking like I'm gonna bust that girl's ass.
そういうわけには参りません。
お嬢様、好んで不吉な場所に近づくことはありません。
おいおい、人の家を勝手に不吉にするんじゃねえぜ。とにかく私は決めた。マスターキーが貸せないなら貴賓室の鍵はあるでしょ。貸して。
お嬢様。
To Jessica, the expressions worn by the pair felt more like an ill omen than anything else did. In Jessica's eyes, the ill omen thing wasn't the witch or the VIP room. It was them, Maria and the others who believed in witches. In the end, Jessica forced them to agree, and she made them bring her the key to the VIP room. So what happened then?
ベアトリーチェが本当に貴賓室に現れるかどうか肝試しをしたというわけか。
そんなとこだぜ。しかし私は何を意地になってたんだろうな。 年派もいかないマリアとの喧嘩を引きずってたに違いない。
Probably. You are probably still very mad. Of course, the weather just had to be terrible on that particular night. To be honest, I slightly regretted sticking my nose into something so pointless. But I already said so much and even borrowed the key from them. I couldn't just go to Shannon the next day, have her ask me how it went, and answer, well, I gave up, cause it was too scary. Normally, I go to sleep long before 2 a.m. If Mom found me wandering the corridors at that time of night, she'd definitely yell at me. So I waited in my room staring at the hands of my clock as it ticked closer to 2. Outside, the rain was incredible and the wind strong. The swaying, rustling trees were particularly eerie. I'd complained to Shannon and Goda about making up ghost stories about my house. But I was starting to feel like those ghost stories might not be so impossible after all. Even the weather was like, Beato, we're gonna help you out. They were like, we got this. Internet keeps dying for me for some reason. It's the Beato curse. The Ushiromiya mansion is huge. Honestly, I can think of the entire mansion as my own house. As Mom says, the hallways of the Ushiromiya mansion should be treated like public roads. In other words, my own room is part of my home, but the hallways and the rooms I don't usually enter are outside. So while part of me felt like this VIP room ghost story was ridiculous, another part of me was so creeped out that it kept frantically trying to convince itself that the first part of me was right. Only 10 minutes left till 2. If I want to be inside the VIP room at 2, I need to get there before then. There she goes. Nothing's going to happen. I know that. It'll just be a stupid waste of time for a few minutes. And a loss of sleep. I touched the doorknob of the door. Sorry, I touched the doorknob to the room of my own, and was startled by how unpleasantly cold it was. As long as I stayed in this room, I could laugh off anything. After all, this was my room. But it wouldn't be like that in the hallway. That's outside my territory. And the doorknob, the barrier between the two, is ice cold. Idiot. What are you so scared of, me? You aren't taking Shannon's, Goda's, or maybe Kumasawa-san's gossip seriously, are you? I'll prove it. There's nothing strange in the VIP room. The corridor was only dimly lit. Before lights out time, the hallways were brighter. But to avoid wasting energy or something like that, we kept the lights to a minimum at night. So even though I was inside my own house, it was very clearly the middle of the night here. If Mom found out that I was wandering around at a time like this to do a test of courage in the VIP room, which I'm not even supposed to go in, I'd get in a lot of trouble. To make sure she didn't find out, I tried to hide my breathing and my footsteps. So the siren felt unbelievably loud. Even though it was so quiet, that eerie sound of the wind was noisy. The sound of twigs rustling. The sound of some pillar in this old mansion creaking. What's that sound like a beak tapping against the glass? Though it was so quiet, all of the little suspicious sounds made it seem noisy. Damn, I'm an idiot. Why wouldn't I have brought a flashlight at least? A flashlight to use inside my own home? That's even more idiotic. I mumbled this to myself, hoping it would drown out the sound of the wind just a little. Then I saw it. The door to the VIP room. This was the VIP room, the room for important guests. However, as far as I knew, it had never been used before. None of the guests who had came to this mansion were important enough to be given use of this room. Though I'd been clutching that key the whole time, it didn't feel warm at all. It still ruthlessly and icily tormented me. Or maybe that was a warning. If you go back to your comfortable room and hide in your bed, this night will pass like any other.
バカにすんじゃねえぜ。ここまで来て今さら引き下がれるかってんだ。
Even though the key was freezing in my hand, telling me to go back, it slipped into the keyhole quite easily. Oh, here we... Oh no, the music! I don't like this. All that's left is to turn the knob. Open it, and I'll be inside the VIP room. It's not like I've never been in there before. Long ago, I explored and played hide and seek all the time, and this room that I rarely entered seemed unusual and exciting. It's so Umineko over, it's over. However, I got in trouble for going in and was told that this room was important, so one mustn't enter without reason. After that, they made a rule of locking up unused rooms, and I couldn't go in anymore. So it's probably been several years since I've gone into the VIP room. In fact, it might be more than 10 years since the last time. The inside of the room has probably changed from how I remembered it. Come to think of it, even then, I felt that there was something unsettling about it. Slowly, I pushed the door open. The door was light, and even after I let go of it, it kept opening by itself as though beckoning me in. Beyond it was a darkness as thick and heavy as ink. Even a dim light that peeked in from the corridor seemed bright in contrast. Gulp. I stuck my head in, feeling about for the light switch next to the doorway. This was a horribly awkward and uncomfortable way to do it. All I really had to do was step inside and search for the switch from there. Unwilling to take even a single step into the room, I timidly stuck just my arm into the darkness and felt along the wall. Click. The switch, which was hardly ever used, felt stiff and lifeless. However, once the light turned on, the darkness vanished in an instant. And there, exactly as it had been, as though not a thing had changed all these years, was the VIP room. The curtain and bed cover might have been slightly different, and maybe the chairs and the like had changed too. Still, if I had to put it in words, I'd call it a feel. The stiff, lifeless feel of this room hadn't changed. If I hang around here, someone might find me. I'd rather not have Mom find me here. I readied myself. And though I couldn't even bring myself to enter this room when the lights were out, I finally entered. As soon as I closed the door, I felt an oppressive, suffocating sensation. Alright, I've searched myself up in this VIP room. Bring it, Beatrice.
今何分だ?
I looked around the room, but I couldn't see any clock. I'm not in the habit of wearing a watch around the house. Damn. Now I'm not sure what time it is. Still, I know there's only a few minutes left at most. I tried to suppress my desire to use going to get a clock as an excuse to run away from this place. Even so, just standing around like this was boring. When I looked around again, searching for something to sit on, I found something strange.
なんだよこれ.
Oh? A doll. It had been placed on the side table next to the bed. If this room had been used often, I'd have thought it was just one of the owner's personal belongings. But no one lived in this room. So this can't belong to the room's owner.
お供えかよ。気持ち悪いぜ。
It really did look like an offering. A small French doll was sitting on the side table. The doll's hair was gold. It was wearing a black dress. Just who managed to find this doll and where? There's no doubt that someone placed a doll here to symbolize Beatrice. Does that mean this doll is supposed to be the owner of this room or something? And looking like an offering to that owner, there sat a small plate with several cookies and wrapped up chocolates. It was all set out neatly, and there was no dust piled up on the doll. In other words, both the doll and the offering were taken care of on a regular basis by the servants, kept in good condition along with the rest of the room. Taken care of? No, it's more than that. It looked like an offering, no, like some sort of worship. A prayer saying, please don't curse us. So even though the doll was more than eerie enough by itself, viscerally it was even more unnerving to imagine it being kept safe and worshipped in a place like this.
バカバカしいぜ。たたらないでくださいって、柏手でも打つのかよ。
Jessica forced herself to look away from the bizarre doll. She couldn't bring herself to sit on a bed that wasn't hers. Then again, she didn't realize. She didn't really feel like sitting down on a chair either. She had lost any desire to sit on anything in this room. I wandered about aimlessly, then peeked out the window through the gaps in the curtains to stare at the dark, rainy night. What the hell am I doing? Hanging about in the VIP room this late just because that fight with Maria is still eating at me. This is totally pointless. Beatrice, just when did that strange witch start living in this mansion? Grandfather's always yelling about Beatrice. Since it's apparently the name of his dead mistress, people started talking about how her ghost must haunt this mansion. There's that kid's horror story about the witch in the forest, which might be a ghost story made by the adults to stop the kids from going in there. The portrait grandfather had hung in April was really striking. And there was also that weird epitaph. The creepy words on that, which sounded like some sort of ceremony with human sacrifices, made the name of Beatrice seem all the more unnerving. At some point, those stories mixed together, and now people say that the witch Beatrice exists. I don't believe in Beatrice, because I know she's just a fictional person, made by the fusion of a few horror stories. But the Beatrice who was grandfather's mistress probably did exist. But she wasn't a witch. The story of the witch of the forest was made up by the adults to prevent their kids from getting lost in the woods. But that was just a made-up story, not reality. In fact, I've heard that the adults here once scared the kids with stories about those wolves living in the forest. Apparently the kids realized that wolves couldn't possibly be there, so it was changed to the witch. When the portrait was hung, that once vague character suddenly had a face, and people acted as though she'd been there around since long ago. That's right, it's all a ghost story someone made, a fiction. And Maria calls Beatrice her best friend, and the servants worship her like a household shrine. I just don't get it, and it creeps me out. Oh! Uh-oh! Sorry? Let me take a sip. The sudden ring of the phone made me jump so hard I thought my heart would explode. There was a phone on the bedside table across from the one with the doll, and it was ringing noisily. However, I was only surprised by the first ring. By the time it had rung 3 times, I'd regained my cool enough to grumble about this being a prank done by someone trying to scare me. If I rush to pick it up, I'll probably hear someone laughing at me, saying, "Were you scared?" I thought about ignoring it instead, but it kept on ringing incessantly. It was a pretty loud sound to have going on and on this late at night. If Mom somehow manages to hear it from her room, I'm screwed.
Hey, hey. 取るぜ。取ってよ。ああ、驚いたとでも言いやいいんだろ。
I decided to pick up the receiver. I'll just say that surprised me. Wahahaha. And maybe follow that up with looks like Beatrice didn't show up after all. After all, this is my victory in a sense.
もしもし。
ベアトリーチェ、こんにちは。
Oh?
え、マリア？
I don't get it. Did I hear that wrong? Why would Maria be calling here?
もしもし？
この間は楽しいお歌を聴かせてくれてありがとう。だからお返しにマリアもベアトリーチェに歌うね。習った新しいお歌を歌うね。
Oh my god, baby. The voice, the intonation, the manner of speech, all of it clearly belonged to Maria. But What's she talking about? All by herself? Oh, I know what she's singing. How sweet. Oh, she's so cute. I love her so much. Maria just kept on talking happily as I stood there, stunned and unable to interrupt. Eventually, Maria started singing an old familiar kids song that even I knew. I don't get it.
Maria? もしもし？ちょっと待てよ。歌うのやめろよ。なんなんだよ。わけがわかんねえぜ。もしもし？
The voice and the lights, everything disappeared. In the pitch black, I couldn't see anything. Couldn't tell what was happening. I don't get it. What's going on? Uh-oh. Someone is here.
Nani? 今の
Does being in darkness really slow us humans down so much? I know it's dark, but I really have absolutely no idea what just happened. What was that shuffling sound just now? I'm not sure. I can't explain it. I heard an incredible slithering sound, like someone crawling out of a bed. I didn't think I'd heard it. It wasn't that vague. I definitely heard it happen, right next to me, clearly. However, there was no change to the bed. No one had been sleeping there in the first place, and the sheets were still perfectly straight. Someone had crawled out of the bed and had laughed in a creepy voice before leaving the room. That's what it felt like. Felt like? I'm here and the bed's right there. I'm not only in the same room, I'm right next to it. So why am I so unsure about what happened just a few seconds ago? I gripped the receiver, which had gone completely silent, and waited there alone, unable to move in a quiet room that seemed exactly identical to the one I'd entered. Huh? What? If nothing's changed since the beginning, I can just pretend that the last minute or so didn't happen. And yet, if something has changed, that will prove that something really did happen.
なんだよ。なんでねえんだよ。
Did it fall to the floor? The doll is gone, isn't it? No, it's not there. No matter where I look, from whatever angle, it's not there. The offering plate with the cookies and chocolate is still there. Still here, sorry. But the thing they were being offered to, the doll is gone. Uh-oh.
嘘だ。
Magic. Then what just happened? Is the Beatrice-sama doll supposed to have cackled out loud and left the room? No, that crawling sound was too loud to have been made by a doll. It was a noisy sort of sound, like a kid playing with a blanket and using it as a cape. Then what? Is that Beatrice-sama doll supposed to have turned into a human and then run cackling from the room?
嘘だ。
Welcome back, everyone, from the ad break. The doll came alive and ran out. Never trust dolls, indeed. Dolls are never to be trusted. You see a doll in a lone room you're not supposed to enter, you run. You run as fast as possible. After that, nothing happened. The doll alone disappeared and nothing else changed. In a VIP room that had remained completely unchanged and was filled with only the sound of wind and rain, I stood there, too shocked to move.
人形は結局見つかったのか?
No.
物陰からベッドの下まで探したさ。それこそ中に入り込んでまで。でも見つからなかった。
一体あの部屋で何があったと考えてる?
ベアトリーチェ様のたたりなんて思いはしねえぜ。
コピウム?
あるいは 使用人の誰かのいたずらだったかもしれね
Okay.
いたずら？
え。マリアの声はあらかじめカセットテープにでも取ってあって、
No, I think Maria actually
そ
called.
れを午前2時ちょうどに電話して再生ボタンを押した。そしてほどほどのところで配電盤か何かで停電させた。それからあらかじめ貴賓室のどこかに隠れてた誰かが気持ち悪く笑いながら人形を持って出て行った。
That does sound
そう考え
plausible.
りゃ辻褄は合うぜ。
釈然とはしてないようだな。
そりゃそうだろ。
It's her on copium.
だってこれが私を脅かすためのいたずらだとしたら大掛かりが過ぎるぜ。
They made Maria sing beforehand and recorded it. Then someone called the VIP room and replayed that recording. Then someone waited until exactly the right time and tripped the breaker for the VIP room. To turn off the power to the VIP room, you'd have to go to the basement. There's a switchboard booth down in the boiler room. There's no phone line down there, so you'd need a different person to play back Maria's tape. You'd need 3 people in total for this trick. That's too much. I don't think it was this complicated. And you'd need another person to hide in the VIP room and cackle before leaving. And just how long would this last person have to hide in the VIP room beforehand? How long would they have to hide in the pitch black VIP room under the bed, for example? Waiting to scare Jessica, who might or might not even come.
魔女のたたりなんてあるわけもねえぜ。でもよ、人間のいたずらだと考えて私を驚かせるためだけに何時間も暗闇で待ち構えてたって考える方が私はよっぽど薄気味悪いぜ。
同感だな。いっそたたりの方がマシだ。
It would be much more simple, wouldn't it?
そのことを後日使用人たちには聞いたのか？
聞いたってとぼけるに決まってるぜ。それに最低3人だぜ。あの日は源氏さんと郷田さんと熊沢さんとシャノンの4人が泊まってた。そのうちの3人があんな薄気味悪いいたずらに加担したってのか？
Well, Genji, Kumasawa, and Shannon potentially could, but I don't think all 3 did it.
わけわかんねえ。だから私は聞けなかった。
I do, however, think it's very possible that Maria did in fact call on at 2 a.m. because if Beato ever were to tell her that she's in the VIP room at 2 a.m. And Maria knows the phone number, like, sure, it's hard for a child who's 9-year-old to stay up until 2 a.m., but Maria's determined. I think she would manage. True, it had been a strange experience for her, but it wasn't something completely impossible for humans to do. Even so, it really must have been more unnerving to imagine a large number of people planning so carefully just to scare Jessica. Actually, wait, Maria calling at 2 a.m. would be too risky. Like, I think Rosa is attentive enough to notice, maybe? Depends. Because I don't know, I don't think Maria has a phone in her room. It's no surprise that Jessica found this scarier than Beatrice's curse.
今でも使用人たちがお前をはめたと信じてるか？
いや、多分ビビっちまった私の勘違いなんだよ。きっと人形はどこかに転げ落ちて、私がたまたまそれを見つけられなかっただけなんだ。
すべて気のせいだったと言いたいのか？
人形が消えた以外何の変化も証拠もない。マリアにも後日聞いたけど、歌のことも電話のことも知らないと言われた。
Oh, okay, then maybe it was recorded.
本当に知らないのかはわからないけれど、とにかくあの晩のあの出来事は私が確かにあったと言い張ってるだけで何も証明することができない。
皮肉だな。たとえお前が本当にベアトリーチェに会ったと言っても、それを証明できないのと同じだ。
Ah, it's the devil's proof.
しばらくはショックだっ
Is
たけ
it?
ど
Can this be qualified as a devil's proof?
あれは臆病な私が落雷か何かで一瞬だけ停電したのにびっくりして、庭木の枝がちぎれてバサバサ落ちる音を誤解したんじゃないかなって思えるようになった。
笑い声は？
変な鳥の鳴き声とか、と
Mm,
にかくそう聞こえてしまう何かの聞き間違いだったかもしれねえ。
that could have potentially come from the phone, but I do think someone was in the room.
私は強がってるだけで、本当は信じられないくらい臆病だったんだ。だからあんなことがあったように誤解してしまったんだ。そう考えるようにして、あの晩のことを忘れようと自分に強く言い聞かせた。
すべては闇。
Maria's a little gremlin. Affectionately? Yes. Yes, she is. She's affectionately a little baby. A little gremlin. A little witch gremlin.
人間、忘れようと思えば結構できるもんだよな。以来、ベアトリーチェという言葉を聞くたびに嫌な気持ちがこみ上げる。でも、それを顔に出さないように努めてる。
うん。
おしまい。私に話せるのはこの程度の話だけだぜ。
It was an extremely vital clue, though.
情けない話だから、誰にも内緒に私がビビリだったって誰にも知られたくねえからな。
わかった。最後に一つだけ質問したい。
貴賓室のことで？
違う。食堂でのことだ。
The dining hall.
食堂？
お前の階段の直前の親族会議の日、食堂には親族全員が揃ったな。
ああ、当時はまだバトラは戻ってなかったけど、それ以外は全員いたよ。もちろんじいさまは除くぜ。
Okay.
演者は腹痛で空席だったな。それはお前の隣の席だな。
そうだぜ。
それはお前の右の席だったか。
そうだぜ。右の席だよ。
The seat to
それ
her
は
right.
何か？
There's like a specific hierarchy in Umineko seatings in the dining hall, but I don't quite remember how it went. So Will is probably trying to find a clue based on that.
あれ？おかしいな。どうして右？
十分だ。無理に考えるな。頭痛になら。
どうしたんだいジェシカ。
Hey yo Yuppie, hi Kumamaru, how you doing? Are we solving mysteries? We are making more mysteries. Although to be fair, the story that Jessica just told about the VIP room is a pretty big clue, so I definitely need to look up what the seating order hierarchy went in the dining hall, because I feel like Angie being set on the right to Jessica is probably going to be extremely vital.
何を悩んでるんだい？
いや、その
Poster check. Oh, thank you for the poster check, Redeem. We'll sit. I actually really need to get a new office chair because my current chair is like falling apart. The wheels are broken and it's never been a very good chair for my lower back and it's wrecking it. I've been waiting until I had enough money this month for me to invest in an office chair. So hopefully I can soon. Maybe that will be my birthday gift for myself.
おかしなジェシカ。
I love this. Jessica is like, left, right? She's like, wait. Where's that one expression that I want to... Yeah, like, left, right, left, right, huh? And Leon is just like, you're so weird, Jessica. It is a really cool model. Thank you. But dang, your new model still amazes me. It's so pretty and cool. That makes me happy to hear. Thank you. My favorite part of this model is how the wings wiggle when I blink, and they change according to my expressions. Like when I get shocked, I'm like, wait, that's the wrong one. There it is. Like they go like up like this. And when I'm sad, they go down like this. Like, ooh. And I really like that about this new hair ornament.
ジョージ兄さんやジェシカに何か聞けました？
まずまずだ。ベアトリーチェの会談はなかなか面白かった。
Yeah, it was fun, and I think it's going to be pretty relevant because it once again showed us how Beato works with magic. We've seen how she works with Maria, right? And a pretty common element about the magic is how you don't see it. You don't directly see it.
階段？
There's either closed eyes or blind angles at work, or like in Jessica's case right now, the split second of the light going out.
どんな話ですか？
午前2時の貴賓室にベアトリーチェの亡霊が現れるという話だ。
Also, another thing, I think it's very possible for that the light going off being able to be orchestrated with this trick that I don't remember if this was a trick I've seen in Detective Conan before, or if I've seen it in Ace Attorney. I believe it was in Ace Attorney, or in this specific case, the Great Ace Attorney. I don't want to specify what case and the exact mechanics behind it, because it's a pretty like late game late game case. But in case it happened in Conan, I can explain the basic of the trick. So you have that electricity box, right? And if you have a candle that is a light, and you place it somewhere where the wax will drip down to something that will eventually pull down the switch, say for example like a small container on a string that is hanging on this particular switch that you need to go off, and you have the wax slowly drip down into this container, it eventually will become heavy enough to pull the switch down. So that's how you can get like a timed a power outage happening. This works with a lot of switches in general. And like I said, I've seen this trick being used in other crime cases, and it's a pretty cool one by that. The only biggest real issue is that if the person who turned off the light, if it's like done by just one person, you're going to have to clean the wax, the spilled wax wherever it was later. Like, you're gonna have to cover your tracks, and it's very complicated, right? I believe you can do a similar effect with drinks and water, but that's risky on an electricity box. So I think with wax is the safest way without you like causing a short circuit. And maybe a similar trick was used, or it was multiple people.
なかなかおっかない話だったぞ。
初耳です。誰が言い出した話か知りませんけど、仮にも当主様の恩人を階段にしてしまうなんて失礼な話ですね。
模範解答だな。うん。
何か？
リオンは、碑文はわかるか？
碑文？何の話です？
ベアトリーチェの肖像画のところにある。
Oh, does he not know about it?
すみません。何のことかさっぱり。
Oh no.
懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。
何ですか？
He doesn't know.
お前の、いや、 この世界には肖像画はあるのに碑文はねえのか。
玄関ホールに掲げられてるベアトリーチェの大きな肖像画はしかし碑文の話はわかりません。
Oh, that's peculiar.
何の話です？
Is it because the gold is not hidden?
面白い違いだ。
That is an interesting difference because then the question is, where is the gold?
リオンはずっと六軒島で暮らしてきたな。
無論です。それが何か。
Considering that Leon is Kinzo's like pride and joy grandson, maybe that's the key.
子供の頃、森には近づくなと脅されてたはずだ。
Perhaps Kinzo has already decided to give all the gold to Leon, so in that way he has no need for the epitaph because he's already like chosen someone to inherit it.
ええ、迷子になって危ないから決して近づくなと昔から。
森には魔女が出ると。
魔女？何の話です？
黄金の魔女にして六軒島の夜の支配者ベアトリーチ
ェ。ベアトリーチェはおじい様の恩人です。それを魔女だか妖怪だかのように扱うのは少々失礼かと思いますが。
魔女のベアトリーチェは知らないと。
the witch legend doesn't exist here as well.
黄金とともに潜水艦でやってきたベアトリーチェと隠し屋敷で育ったその娘の話は知っていますよ。あなたと一緒にさっき知ったではありませんか。それがいつ魔女になったんです？
Oh no.
なるほど、そうきたか。では森に入ると何が出ると脅された？
森には狼が住んでるから近寄るなと。
Wolves, okay.
魔女でなく狼か。なるほどな、面白い。
私は面白くありません。何の話です？魔女って何のことですか？
こっちの話だ。
But simultaneously, this is interesting because Jessica, George, and Maria all just told us about the witch. However, Leon does not know. And he keeps saying how he only knows about wolves and that there is no epitaph. So, what's going on?
最後にもう一つ聞きて。
Leon existing is already an interesting change in this game board. But the question is, whom is he? I mean, I have a hunch who he might be. But this is starting to get very interesting.
どうぞ。
親族会議の食堂でお前の右には誰が座ってる？
私の向かいは妹のジェシカ。
Sits across from me.
その次の序列はエヴァおばさんの息子になります。
George.
だからジョージ兄さんですけれど、それが何か？
So, where does Maria sit? Does she sit across Jessica or does she sit like an extra row to the... Wait. Where would you place Battler then? Because... No, wait. I'm going to assume Ange sits at theoretically Battler's seat, then maybe?
なるほどな。紛らわしく入り混じってやがる。だが、面白い。
Okay, I see.
私には全然さっぱりですが。
Will is starting to find some interesting aspects in this game board in particular, and I'm curious what he's cooking here. So, from my understanding, this game board is kind of like the ideal miracle fragment kind of thing in Umineko, where Natsuhi does in fact have a son before Jessica, and Leon's existence in itself, I think, is like the miracle in like the one in a 1 million chance of happening, and then him being around changes a shit ton already.
ベアトリーチェを誰が殺したのか。
ああ、大体な。
まさか当主様が殺したなどとおっしゃるつもりはないでしょうね。
ベルン・カステルが求めてるのは金蔵と関わった2人のベアトリーチェじゃない。
She's talking about the witch.
1986年のベアトリーチェを誰が殺したかだ。
その今年のベアトリーチェという意味がわかりません。魔女のベアトリーチェとは何の話なんです？さっきの話といい、碑文とやらの話といい、そろそろ教えてくれませんか？
The other question is, how much of an odd one out is Rion when we have Shannon and Canon in this game board, as well as the lack of the epitaph, while simultaneously all the other 3 siblings know about the witch, have stories about the witch. Maria has met her directly, and the question becomes, what does Leon have influence in this game board for it to be so different? But why is it that so many details from different game boards come here into relevance when Leon's statements are contradictions by itself?
いいだろう。
If it makes sense.
もったいぶる気もね。
Yeah, please.
まずはじめに魔女のベアトリーチェとは何のことです？
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェという名の概念だ。
階段
Exactly.
そのものだと。
さらに厳密には階段さえも概念を生み出す
話がさっぱりです。
階段は本来三人称や二人称で語るべきものだ。それを一人称で語り出したやつがいい。
自分がベアトリーチェだと誰かが自称し始めた。
Yes.
六軒島の悪霊伝説や子供を森に近づけないための作り話が金蔵が繰り返すベアトリーチェベアトリーチェの嘆きで修飾されて、その架空の魔女に憧れて会いたいと懇願したのが後ろ宮マリアだ。それに答えたやつがいい。
Someone answered her call, indeed.
さっぱりな話ですが、腰を折らずに相槌を打ちましょう。答えたとはどういう意味です？
後ろ宮マリアは気の毒な生い立ちによりオカルトに執着するようになった。
Exactly, because Rosa suddenly started telling her harshly that she does not have a father, and Maria wanted to find why she didn't have a father and how is it possible for her to have been born without a father, to the point she started to believe she is the child of Christ.
その彼女に同情したやつがベアトリーチェに扮してマリアと遊んでやったということだ。
Maria tends to recognize people by their behavior rather than their physical appearance. Though Rosa is only one person, Maria calls her mother the Black Witch when she gets violent. And at these times, Maria views Rosa as a different person, separate from her mother. Oh, this is like the most tragic aspect of Maria's character, like the fact that she cannot cope with how different Rosa is when she becomes violent and abusive, and her way of making sense of that is by thinking that she's being possessed. It's really, really sad. In other words, even when a person visually looks the same, she tends to view them as multiple different people depending on their attitude. This fact puts the scene where Maria first met Beatrice in a new light. After being chased out of the mansion by the adults, Maria decided to have some tea in the rose garden. At that time, someone probably started talking to Maria. Then, when they heard this occult-loving girl talking happily about how she wanted to meet the witch Beatrice, this person acted as though Beatrice was possessing them. On the outside, they didn't look like Beatrice. However, when their manner of speech and behavior changed abruptly, Maria would recognize them as a different person. That's why her appearance was so sudden.
マリアにとっての魔女やオカルトはある種の現実逃避と見ていい。
It
彼
is.
女は満たされない現状が魔女の力で打ち破られると信じていたんだ。だから魔女の存在を信じたかった。それを信じれば自分が幸せになれると信じられるから。
確かにマリアちゃんはローザおばさん一人が育ててますし、確かに少し気の毒なことは思いますが。
Oh, Leon, you don't know the extent.
心をないがしろにするんじゃねえ。だからマリアは信じるために信じた。ベアトリーチェが見せた手品まがいも心の底から信じたんだ。それは彼女の
Gotta
心
go.
を大いに慰めただろう。
Please keep having fun. Thank you for coming by Edge Drive. Was fun having you around. Please have a good evening.
そしてここに魔女ベアトリーチェが誕生したんだ。
魔女に会いたいと願うマリアちゃんのために誰かが魔女ごっこに付き合ったと。
Precisely.
そうだ。
This marks the birth of Beato the Elder. All of that about living 1,000 years and being bound to Rokkenjima, that was mixed into the story of ghosts wandering the mansion at night, which was part of the legend of Rokkenjima's evil spirits. As Furudo Erika guessed, the two ghost stories had fused. Someone fused the two stories together and acted a part. So Beatrice held traits from both ghost stories. She was the master of the mansion's night while also fearing spiderwebs.
ではつまりベルーンカステルの問うベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰かというのは、そのベアトリーチェを演じた心優しい誰かを殺したのは誰かという話なのですか。
似てて少し異なる。演じたんじゃない。異なる二人なんだ。マリアにとって黒い魔女と母は別人物であるように、マリアにとってベアトリーチェとそれを演じた人間も別人物になるんだ。
It was just like Maria Sorcier. One person would be the creator and the other would acknowledge those creations, thereby nurturing the illusion. The Golden Witch Beatrice was also created by one person and then nurtured when Maria acknowledged her.
演じた役を殺しても、それは演じた心優しい誰かを殺したことにはならないと。
よりしろが失われただけではベアトリーチェが殺されたことにはならないってことだ。電話で例えると分かりやすい。俺とお前が電話で話しているとする。その時俺にとって電話は話しかける対象であり、お前そのものだ。しかしもし電話を壊したなら
The voice is still there, but you just can't hear it.
電話を殺せば私と話すことはできなくなりますが、しかしそれは私を殺したことにはならない。
マリアは初期のベアトリーチェに自分に憑依してもいいと言った。それは明白に初期のベアトリーチェが肖像画の姿を模していなかったことを示す。
演じた魔女役と演じた人物は別人という考え方で、演じた魔女役のみを殺す、そんなことができるんですか。
Well,
演じた本人にしか殺せない。すなわちベアトリーチェを殺したやつとはベアトリーチェを演じたやつと同義だ。
so technically the person who plays Beatrice, I'm going to assume, has given up playing the role.
マリアちゃんと魔女ごっこをした相手がベルーンカステルの求める犯人だということなんですか。
Probably.
そうなる。しかしややこしいことにこの礼拝堂は今猫箱の内側の世界だ。
I have a very strong suspicion who that person is.
その犯人という名の猫は生きた猫と死んだ猫の2匹がここに同時に存在している。
本当にややこしい。さっぱりですが先を促しましょう。つまり犯人が2人いるとおっしゃりたいので。
そうだ。ベアトリーチェを生み殺すことができる人間と、そもそもベアトリーチェなど生ませもしない概念ごと殺すことができる人間、その2人がここにいるってことだ。
Oh.
ではお尋ねしましょう。ベアトリーチェ殺人事件、 その二人の犯人は誰です？
So maybe it's Leon,
まず最初の一人
like the person who never birthed Beatrice and thus can't like and thus has killed her by default. I'm going to assume it's Leon simply by the fact that he doesn't know a witch exists and that he has never seen an epitaph.
死んだ猫
誰です？
You.
お前だ
Yeah, I called it. I knew it.
はあ？
Oh my god, the music.
非常に単純な推理だお前の存在する世界にだけ魔女ベアトリーチェが存在しない
Oh, so is this a mashup of multiple worlds?
意味がわかりません。
マリアもジェシカも魔女ベアトリーチェとの話を聞かせてくれたしかし彼女らの親族会議における食堂の席順にはお前が含まれていない
Ah, that's why he asked.
私が含まれていない。
マリアはローザと共にロッケン島を訪れたそして隣の席にはローザがいたありえないお前がいるならばローザの次の序列はリオンになるそしてジェシカになる次の
Oh no, that's why he asked. There should be two people between Rosa and Maria in rank. In that case, they should be sitting on opposite sides of the table and separated by one seat. In other words, in the world where Leon exists, it's impossible for Maria to be sitting next to Rosa.
ジェシカの話も同じだお前が序列に加わっているなら金蔵の席を正面に左列にリオン右列にジェシカ
Wait. Towards Kinzo's seat. You should be on the left side and Jessica should be on the
そして左
right.
列にジョージ右列にエンジェとなるジェシカとエンジェはリオンがいてもいなくても隣り合うしかしリオンがいるかいないかでその席が右になるか左になるかが異なる
Oh. In the world where Leon exists, Ange's seat is on Jessica's left. However, if Leon doesn't exist, then Ange's seat is on Jessica's right.
1986年の魔女ベアトリーチェを語る人間は皆お前のいない世界を語っている
Yeah, these are probably like game pieces that were brought from other game boards, and Leon is like the odd one out, or it's the other way around. Leon was added.
そしてお前の世界では魔女の階段が存在しないお前にとってベアトリーチェは金蔵の愛人もしくは恩人であって化けて出る亡霊ではない。
当主様はベアトリーチェと深い愛情を育まれたのでしょう。
そういうことだ。お前が存在すると魔女ベアトリーチェが存在しない。お前の存在はベアトリーチェを殺してる。
私がベアトリーチェ殺しの犯人だと。
One of them?
これはおかしな話になったことはおろか、話もよくわからないのに犯人だなんて。
Because she doesn't exist.
裏を返せば。
If you don't exist, Beatrice will be born, which is like literally every other game board.
裏を返せば、私とベアトリーチェがコインの裏表とでもおっしゃるので。
Yes, pretty much.
いい例えだ。その通り。お前というコインの裏側がベアトリーチェなんだ。
何のことやらさっぱりです。
俺もお前の存在がさっぱりだった。だが、いろいろと話を聞いていくうちに、お前の存在について
Give it to me,
一つの
so
仮説が立った。
give it to me. I want to see if I was
それ
correct.
はお前が19歳だという点だ。
あなたに年齢を明かした覚えはなかったのですが、ご名答です。どうして？
Uh-oh.
ジェシカはお前のことを入学した時にはもう副会長で、その翌年には生徒会長になったと言った。これはお前の年齢がジェシカより一つ上であることを示す。
Jessica's 18 years old, so Leon must be 19.
なるほど。それで私が19歳だと何の仮説が立つと言うんです？
お前が後宮夏日の子ではないという仮説だ。
Oh, he has the same thought I did.
失敬な。何の気まぐれかは存じませんが、私だけでなく母も侮辱する発言には撤回を求めねばなりません。
Oh boy! We're getting into spicy territory.
クラウスではなく、
Oh god.
お前なのか。
There. That's the expression I wanted.
私が成人するから受け継がれるのです。私にも子が生まれたら、成人した時にそれを譲るべきでしょう。
Well.
なら、なぜ金蔵はクラウスが成人した際に当主を譲らなかった？
Good question.
当主様の話を聞かれたでしょう。当主様は後宮家の老快な親族たちに振り回され、辛い思いをされました。だからこれからの当主は若者が受け継ぐべきだと思い。
お前のいない世界では次期当主を証明する銀の指輪さえ存在しない。
It's gold.
お前が指にしているその銀の指輪は、金蔵がお前に当主を継承したいという他の世界にはない強い意志の証明だ。
確かにその点は否定できません。当主様は私を特に可愛がられておいでで、私が幼い頃から成人したらすぐに当主を継承させる、その日に備え学業を怠るなと厳しく言われてきました。しかしお父様にその資質がないとは思いません。なぜお父様を早々に飛び越して私が次期当主なのか不思議に思ったことはありますが、ずっとそうだったのでその疑問を口に出したことはありませんでした。
なぜ金蔵はクラウスよりお前に強く当主を引き継がせたかったか。
I have a very strong hunch why that is.
わかるわけもありません。また心をないがしろにするんじゃないとおっしゃるので、当主様のお心から何が推理できるとおっしゃるんですか？
Oh Leon, I'm not sure if you're ready.
お前がベアトリーチェと金蔵の子供だからだ。
Oh boy!
お見事。
Oh, Burn is here. Uh-oh. Burn is here. Not good. There was a crisp applause and a mocking laugh.
ベルンカステルか。
Uh-oh.
案外早かったわ。もう少し思考を遊ばせてくれると思ったら。
Frankenstein appeared sitting on the altar. Oh! Oh my gosh! There's a raid! Oh! From the oh my gosh! Hello! Hi everyone! Oh my god, wait, wrong toggle. I need to put away the toggle that I just put on. Hold on. Oh my god, which one was it? This one. Okay. Hi everyone! Hi! Thank you for the raid, Nia! Oh my gosh, how are you doing? What were you streaming? Oh my god, Umineko. Yes, I'm reading Umineko. I'm in episode 7 right now, so in case, so I'm about to like so I am at the part in which some heavy spoilers are about to drop, so just in case you can look away. Yeah, it's major spoiler time now. But thank you for raiding. Thank you, Nia. Have a good night. Love you too. Bye bye. And thank you for the follow, new people. Okay. Oh my God. Let me introduce myself for a second. So I'm Yuppie Honey. And I am a witch. This better Yuppie is a witch. There's also another Yuppie. We call her the normal Yuppie. And she is the inferior version of me. She wants to be a magical girl, but I am the witch. I'm already magical. And I am an artist. I work freelance, full-time freelance artist at the moment. And I also attend German conventions and sell merch. So thank you. Thank you all for coming here on Nia's raid. I stream art normally on Tuesday, and Thursday is like game flavor of the week. For this week, it's Umineko, so most of it is just reading. But other times I stream like either games like Yakuza or indie games like Little Goody Two Shoes at the moment is in the rotation, and fighting games as well like Dragon Ball Fighters, Under Night in Birth 2, and so on and so forth. You have a cute model. Your eyes gave me 2000s anime vibes. Thank you so much. That makes me happy to hear. That was the goal. I tried to go a little bit like late 90s, early 2000s look, like somewhere in between those, because those two era of anime are the ones that mostly inspire me, like 90s, early 2000s. So that I got the vibe across makes me really happy. Oh, okay, but thank you for the new follows. I hope you guys enjoy your stay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so right now I'm reading Umineko and I'm at the second to last episode, and I'm reaching a part in which there's very major spoilers dropping. So for anyone who wants to read Umineko spoiler free, I recommend not looking not looking right now. But if you don't mind spoilers, then you can sit here. And thank you for the stay hydrated redeem. I need to take a sip, but oh, my tea is still hot. I have to take a I have to wait a little. What's the game about? Umineko is a visual novel of 8 episodes total, and it's about a murder mystery. And basically, each episode is like somewhat like the loop, but not entirely. The main point of Umineko is you finding out what happened in this murder mystery, while also figuring out what kind of magic is behind this, like dismantling the look of the magic, finding out what the tricks behind everything is. As well as finding out the bigger mysteries, like in the overarching narrative, as well aside of the murder mystery. And a lot of generational abuse, yeah, a lot of rich people being awful to their kids. So if you are also sensitive to very serious topics like that, I also say this one isn't one of faint of heart. We also have a lot of witches being girl bosses and lesbians. Like, we have prime lesbian #1 Bernkastel Wonder here. Her girlfriend is not here right now, but we have 1 lesbian right now. And 2 gays. Bernkastel appeared sitting on the altar, almost as though it had become her own personal chair.
いつリオンがベアトリーチェの血を引くと
19歳という年齢に気づいた時だ。
As soon as I realized Leon was 19.
第5のゲームの時に登場したヒント。19年前の赤ん坊と数字が合致する。
Yeah, that's exactly the same that I suspected.
その赤ん坊は崖から落ちたのでは
I think this is the ideal world in which Natsu accepted the baby.
夏日に受け入れられ、崖から落ちなかった19年前の赤ん坊が
Thank you for taking my words out of my mouth, Will.
裏を返せば、夏日に拒絶されれば、リオンは存在しない。
私が母さんの子じゃない。
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. Leon is baby.
そう言いつつも心当たりはあるみたいね。そうよ。後宮リオンは夏日の子じゃないわ。19年前に金蔵がどこかより連れてきた赤ん坊の成長した姿よ。
どこかじゃねえ。明白にベアトリーチェの血を引いている。その証拠があまたの世界でリオンにしか与えられない銀の指輪だ。
この指輪があると、どうして私がベアトリーチェの血を引くと？
I think the other hint is that you are very you have a lot of similarities to the first Beatrice.
あまたの世界でお前にしか与えられない。それはすべての世界の中で金蔵にとってお前はベアトリーチェの次に 最も重要な人間であることを示している。そしてそれは実の息子のクラウスや孫のジェシカをはるかに超えている。そしてさらにすなわち19年前に何があったかを遡れば導き出される一つの推理がある。
Yeah, it's like I said, Leon is the miracle fragment where Nazi did not reject the baby.
19年前、私が生まれた時に何があったと言うんですか？
Oh well,
あなたも聞いたはずよ。それも今日ウィルと一緒にね。
まさかローザおばさんの話だというのですか？
そうだ。第3のゲームでローザの話が出て、第5のゲームでの赤ん坊の年齢が時間軸で一致した時、一つの推理が生まれた。
What is that theory? I'm scared.
あの金蔵がどこからともなく赤ん坊を連れてきて自分の血族に加えろというのはその赤ん坊が特別な存在であることの証拠だ。
I do not like where this is going.
私がクワドリアンのベアトリーチェの子供。
Oh no, I think this is going to go into very, very, very extremely yikes territory. I'm so sorry to everyone who's in the chat.
クワドリアンのベアトリーチェは
For context, Kinzo is not a good person. He's done a lot of heinous shit.
しかし金蔵は彼女をベアトリーチェの娘と思わなかった。
Oh my god, that's such a yikes.
生き写しの生まれ変わりと信じた。
Oh boy!
その生まれ変わりがかつての年齢にまで成長し、まさに生き写しとなった時、金蔵は悲劇を犯したんだ。
聞きたくありません。
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either.
そういうこと。金蔵はベアトリーチェの娘をベアトリーチェとし、さらにそのベアトリーチェにあんたを産ませたの。あんたは金蔵の子であると同時にベアトリーチェの孫ということね。
これが
Man, Kinzo, why are you like this?
金蔵がお前を誰よりも特別に扱う理由の必然の推理だ。金蔵は過ちを悔い、お前を今度こそ子孫として後宮家に正しい形で迎え入れようとしたんだ。
夏日はほとんどの場合プライドをひどく傷つけられリオンの育児を拒否するわ。その結果あんたは必然として崖から落ちて消える。
Oh my god, sad.
結婚後
That is so sad. Leon is having the worst time ever.
子供が私で年子で生まれたのがジェシカだと聞かされてきました。
もしお前が今日まで自分が夏日の子であることに疑問を感じたことがないのなら
It's because she really did accept
お前
you.
はこの世界の母に感謝すべきだ。お前にそれを悟らせずに今日までジェシカと平等に愛情を注いだ。
感謝の必要はないわ。だってあんたというかけらを見つけるのに気が遠くなるほどの苦労をしたもの。
Oh man.
夏日は数学的確率で見て257万8917分の257万8916の確率であんたの育児を拒否するわ。
Yeah, it's like I said, one in like 3 million chance.
あんたが感謝すべきは奇跡を紡いだ私であって夏日ではないわね。
Bruh. I get it, you're girl bossing. Please don't ruin this fragment, I'm begging.
くだらねえ確率遊びはやめろ。
あら、ごめんなさい。
お前が誰の血を引こうと育ててくれた家族への恩が変わるわけじゃない。
それは分かってます。ですが少し心を落ち着ける時間が欲しいです。私の心をないがしろにしないでくれるなら。
そうだな。
Yeah, please, you just dropped like the heaviest of truth bombs on him. He really needs the time. Leon took a deep breath and looked upwards. Anyone will be shocked to find that their parents weren't who they believed them to be. Still, Leon should be grateful. Grateful towards the family that raised a child who wanted for nothing.
面白いもんだ。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェに何百万分の1かの確率でこんな平凡な人生を送れる可能性があったなんてな。
でしょ？こういう時、私はとても笑えると思うのよ。
You think this is funny? Will had said it plainly. Ushinomiya Leon is how the Golden Witch Beatrice appears in a different world. The baby Nazi rejected 19 years prior. If she had accepted that child, this is the future that would have occurred. However, if she doesn't accept that child, the witch will be born. The baby whose birth was not celebrated becomes a witch. Also, does that confirm that Beato trans? Trans rights? Let's go.
だが、リオンの存在自体はお前が関心を持っている六軒島連続殺人事件とは何の関係もない。つまり、猫箱を開ければ消える猫がリオンだ。
Hell yeah, Umineko said trans rights. Let's go.
そういうことよ。リオンなど所詮は消える猫。でも余興にしては面白かったでしょ。
面白いのはお前だけだ。ここに閉じ込められてなけりゃ俺もこんな推理はわざわざしない。
Burn like just loves, she just loves the like, you know, the image of Norman, what's his name, Norman Reedus, drinking Konami tears from that one cup, like the Konami tears cup. That's Burn. She's like Leon tears cup.
どうして私がおかしな探偵ごっこの相棒に選ばれたのか。どうやらベルンカステルという魔女は人の運命をもてあそんだり、あるいは嘲笑ったりするのがお好きな方らしい。
あらすごい。会ってその日に私を理解する人なんて珍しいわ。
私はどうやら異なる世界では魔女と呼ばれる存在になるらしい。そしてどうやら何かの事件を引き起こすらしい。
Oh, he's taking it surprisingly well.
それは私の罪なのですか？
罪のわけね。お前はお前だ。
Yes.
コインが裏を向いていた時のことなんて知ったことじゃね
え。Yes, correct. Leon is baby. Please, you deserve to be happy.
ありがとう。しかし、
Beato also deserves to be happy, so.
お前は何らかの迷惑をかけていたと言われて、心穏やかになる人間はいないと思います。教えてください。私は異なる世界で何を。
Oh boy. A lot. A lot.
かけらをその子に見せたら。
Should we? Will opened his hand, and something that looked like a pale blue glowing shard of a crystal appeared there. It was a memory. No, a game record of all the games so far.
こいつに触れろ。異なる世界でのお前の運命が見える。
Huh.
触れない方が幸せだ。とでも言いたそうな顔ですね。
Yeah, you would be, please. Ignorance is bliss.
当然だ。予感しているだろうが、ろくな話じゃない。
それでもそれは異なる世界とはいえ、私のことなのですね。
No.
お前には知る権利も知らぬ権利もどちらもある。お前があくまで自分と連なりつつも異なる誰か、他人のことと割り切れるなら触れてみるといい。
I do admire Leon for diving in though.
自分があるいはひょっとしたら辿ったかもしれない運命。
相棒として聞きます。あなたはそれを私に見せたいですか？
相棒としてなら見ろという。しかし友人としてなら見るなという。
残念。 私は友人ではありませんので。
俺も
I'm not your friend. He is his partner. Wink wink wonk wonk.
お前男か女か。
唐突なことを聞きますね。
男と思えば線の細い男にも見える。しかし女と思えば気丈に振る舞う女にも見える。ベルンカステルも分かっててごまかしてる。ジェシカにはお前を兄とも姉とも呼ばせず、次期当主様と抽象的な呼び方をさせ続けてい
た。He's right.
本当に勘のいい男。
よく性別を聞かれます。だから悔しくてこう言い返してます。どっちに見えますかって。
Oh, which do I look like to you?
お前は男ということになっている。しかしあまたのゲームでは女だと考えられている。後宮バトラがマスターを務めた第6のゲームでは性別を違いつつも確定しない2人組の悪魔が登場し、それをいや厳密には一番最初のゲームからだ。お前の性別はゲームの外側の隠れた謎の一つだ。
That is a line though. Your gender is one of the hidden mysteries that exist outside the games themselves. Like out of context, it sounds wild.
素直に答えるのも悔しいのでお答えはしないことにします。私はあなたの相棒でしょ。
Yes.
気に入らない性別だったら何か不都合なことでもあるのですか？
Correct.
その通りだ。俺には相棒の性別などどうでもいい。
That does make me wonder what pronouns I should be using for Leon for here on out. Like I've been using he him thus far because I saw Leon and I immediately assumed he was the correction turned out to be correct, right? Like that they are the baby that Nazi accepted. The miracle fragment that where Nazi doesn't like reject the baby that she receives. And she did confirm that it was like an, how do you say it again? An AMAP baby. But this dialogue is now making me wonder if I should use they them for Leon because I don't know what pronouns Leon prefers.
容姿にコンプレックスがあったのであなたの言葉が嬉しいです。
Oh, I developed a bit of a complex about it, so I'm glad to hear about it. Oh, so Leon canonically is exploring their gender.
俺は男女平等主義だ。
Hell yeah.
使えねえやつは平等に殴る。
私もマナーのない方は男女平等につねりますので。
Hell yeah, we love equality. Let's go. So it's interesting to see how people subconsciously gender Leon even though their gender is never specified. You're right, actually, Ryukishi got me on this one, so... And up until I saw this dialogue, I didn't even think twice about it. Slowly Leon reached out and touched the fragment. A moment later, Leon seemed to undergo a violent bout of dizziness, and silently slumped over like a puppet with its strings cut. Aww. Aw, baby! It was no surprise. When people who don't understand parallel universes have many different fates jammed into their heads, they tend to feel like their brains are swelling and their sense of self is melting away. Leon seemed to have lost consciousness. Oh, poor Leon.
こいつには全てを知る資格があったというわけだ。
あなたの相棒にぴったりの駒だったでしょ。
推理を続ける。死んだ猫の話はした。
To me, Leon was immediately female because they're Saber. Because the voice actress is the same, right? I have never heard Saber before, but someone like a friend who is into Umineko did hint that Saber's voice actress is in the game. So when I heard Leon and I heard their voice, I was like, oh, that's Saber's voice actress, isn't it?
そうね。
Yeah.
次は生きた猫の話だわ。
Gib.
1986年のベアトリーチェを殺せるのはそれを生み出したやつだけだ。
And now we're getting into the meat and spicy.
ヒントは山ほどあったわ。思えばベアトリーチェのゲームだった頃からね。
Yeah, they've been coming since the very first episode.
そうだな。
I think this is something that some YouTube comments have left me in previous VODs. How they mentioned that going back to read all question arcs after you read episode 5 or 6 or even 4 gives you a much different understanding of the text that you read. And Nia right now, who rated me, she is doing Umineko Sunday streams with one of my best friends, like one of my closest friends. And when I can catch their streams, the Umineko Sundays, and I read the text along with Nia and Erim, and I'm like, and I was like DMing my friend who already read through all of Umineko, and I was like, this text right here hits so different after I finished episode 6 and seen the flashback in 7. It's really a different experience. So I think one day I really need to sit down and reread the text of the novel, or at least I do catch up to Nia's VODs here and there. So like while I work. But I definitely need to do a better job at keeping up to the streams, because it's helping me basically reread basically Umineko, and I sit there like, oh shit, oh fuck. Episode 1 is such a great reread. So many scenes had different meanings. They do. Oh my god. Like, can I just ramble about 2 things that really stood out to me in episode 1 after having like started episode 7 and finished episode 6. There is one particular dialogue that Genji has with Shannon that had the way they were talking very much felt like Genji was talking to just Shannon, and Kanon was basically, he's not there. It looks like the dialogue of between just 2 persons. I need to reread it again, but I'm pretty sure Kanon does not get addressed in that dialogue. And what he says does not necessarily like correlate to the discussion. There's even like a point Genji like calls for Shannon's attention a little bit after Kanon talks, and I'm like, that's like as if you're spacing out and talking to like someone with you in your mind. That was one thing that stood up to me. And secondly, also very heavy spoiler, sorry. The previous thing that I noticed from episode 1 was also very heavy spoilers. I'm so sorry. I forgot to say that beforehand. Yeah, but that dialogue really stuck out to me. Then something that always stuck out to me was Natsuhi having a specific vitriol towards Shannon in particular. But that's something that I've noticed since the first episode before I got like to this point. And it ended up being proven pretty right until when I finished reading episode 5 and 6. Yeah, but the other thing that I noticed was like was when Battler offhandedly mentions in the narrative, like when he's like doing the whole first person narrative in his mind, he drops one line that had me like, oh. In which he literally just says, I don't vibe with Natsuhi, basically, that he doesn't really like her. And then when I remembered game 5, right? And I was like, oh, oops.
ベアトリーチェとバトラーの第4のゲームでその因縁ははっきりとした。そしてその時点でベアトリーチェが誰であるか そしてその心が
Yeah, sorry, that was my episode 1 ramble.
心とは
動機だ。ベアトリーチェが1986年10月5日に自らの運命さえとす
That's what we need to find out.
さすがだわ。第4のゲームの時点で
I think
フーダニット
my tea is cold
と
enough.
ホワイダニットが推理できてたなんて。じゃあハウダニットは
犯人が誰であるか分かればそれを推理することは不可能じゃない。第3のゲームの連鎖密室はなかなか器用にやったもんだと拍手さえしたくなる。
第4のゲームラストの私は誰は分かった？
10月5日24時に必ず場所を問わずに殺せる犯人。その時点である種の仮定は可能だ。それこそ黄金鏡のもう一つのお宝ってわけだ。
へえ。
What are the key points of this mystery?
第4のゲ
Yes.
ームまでにすなわちあなたはベアとのゲームだけで全ての答えに至れたと。
I think you can, yes.
可能だ。その後のラムダデルタのゲームとバトラのゲームはそれをさらに補足するヒントの塊だ。このお前のゲームさえもな。
Yeah, like episode 6 especially hits you over the head with a lot of hints. And episode 7 has basically been like an open answer book thus far.
それではそろそろはぐらかすのは終わりにして教えてちょうだい。犯人は誰？
I have a hunch who he will mention. I want to see if I'm right. At that moment, though there hadn't been anyone but them in the chapel, small footsteps rang out. That silhouette slowly walked up to Will and Birkenstell and gave a small bow.
来たか。
呼んだの？
ああ。
Is it?
フーダニット。
Is it? Is it who I think it is?
そしてホワイダニット。
あんた動機が分かられただけでもう降参しちゃうの？具体的な証拠はないんでしょ？赤とか青とかでガンガンと派手に応酬すればいいのに。
こいつはもうそんなことは望んでない。
They nodded slightly. Their wish was to be noticed. Once that happened, they had no need for trivial excuses or pointless word games.
俺はお前の動機を。
I really love the effect that they just made for for it to be a first-person perspective kind of nod. Like that's such a good use of the engine.
心を理解したつもりでいる。それをこれから話す。お前を呼んだのは。それを聞き。間違いがあったら、お前の言葉で正してほしいからだ。
It's common. The two of them nodded to each other once more.
お前の4つのゲームで、お前のメッセージを受け取り、そして、マスターの違う3つのゲームで、俺はお前をどんな不思議な運命がもてあそんだか想像し、言葉を失った。お前はそれを誰にも明かさずに、すべてのゲームで死ぬ。
Aww. Having this person confess in this empty chapel might be pointless. However, even so, I believe it will give her some sort of salvation. People are only safe when someone understands them. No one understood this pitiful witch even after her death, even years later, and including the man she wanted to understand her the most. It's about time someone forgave her. At the end of the 5th game, Battler finally understood. However, it took him so long, and he didn't make it in time. So even though she's alive here and now, Battler cannot save her. Oh, that's so sad. No! So Battler isn't here at Beatrice's funeral. He won't come. He won't make it in time.
これはベアトリーチェの葬儀だ。お前が国会し、 神なるマスターが聞き、俺が許す。その役目はバトラがふさわしいが、奴は間に合わなかった。だから俺で諦めろ。
あれだけベアとはヒントを出したのにね。ラムダもバカバトラのためにあれだけのヒントを与えたわ。
That makes that one scene in episode 5 just hurt so much more.
それに対するバトラ自身の懺悔のようなゲームも笑えた。でも私は何も笑わせないわ。ただ淡々とあんたの葬儀を執り行うだけよ。
お前は喋るな。話しているのは俺だ。
Oh my god. Will is basically just a game piece and like a higher game piece. And he's like, shut up to the game master.
いいなら始めよう。誰もせかさない。お前の葬儀が終わるまでベルンカステルは永遠に時間を閉ざしている。心の整理に必要な時間は無限にある。
She shook her head. It had come here because it was already prepared. Will nodded to show he understood. Then the two looked into Berncastell's eyes, and Will spoke out clearly.
こいつが犯人だ。
This is making me want to cry. Oh, what a perfect time to end. Oh, good, because it's late. I need to wrap up. I don't have to cry now. I might have to cry next week instead. Oh, I don't. Oh, no. What the fuck? Oh, who are you? We're going to meet you next time, though. No, I don't want to read your name. And the music is sounding cool. Title. Okay, so that was a good point to stop. And I'm going to start wrapping up for today. So let me just switch over to the main chat screen. There we go. Let me just... I want to get the main screen over here because I want to get ready to raid someone before we wrap up. But boy, I am feeling shit right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight because first that very extremely yabe reveal with Kinzo, I had a hunch, but I was low-key hoping it wasn't going to be this bad. But, well, Ryokishi doesn't want me to be happy. And oh my god, that shit hurt, man. Where the part where the culprit walks in and you see it all in first-person perspective, and the developers went so far to make it see the head shaking and the nodding, and oh my god, fuck. Look, I was this close to crying, this close, but I got saved by the screen blocking off, and it looks like we're going to be in for an extreme ride in the next time I read Umineko, which I'm going to see when that will be. So this Thursday, hold on. So next Tuesday I can stream art. I am not sure if I'm going to get my mom visiting me on Thursday or on Friday. She said she'll come on Friday, but it could be possible she tries to come a day sooner. So I'm going to ask her tomorrow. And then I'm going to see how exactly she plans, because my mom is visiting me for my birthday on the 13th of February, and that's very soon. She's going to stay for like a few days. So for the time that she's here, and given that my birthday lands on Tuesday, the 13th, I won't be streaming on that day. But let's see. Next week, I was pondering on doing either Little Goody Two Shoes because it's been a while, or starting with Under Night in Birth 2 because I want to play a fighting game at some point. But I'll consider. On the week of my birthday, I want to say in advance, for anyone who lives in Germany, I will be going to GG Bavaria on the 17th and the 18th of February. Anyone who lives in Germany and will be interested in going to GG Bavaria, I've been offered codes for the tickets to give as a raffle, like 50% and 25% codes. They told me I have to raffle it and offer it for the community, so it would be kind of like a poll, randomized raffle kind of thing. But I'll post about it sometime this weekend so that people have enough time to engage with the post or with the subscribing of the, you know, the rabatt, what's it called in English? The sales on the tickets, right? The discount. And then for me to like give them out. So yeah, that's pretty much the only plans I have for February. I don't really have much else planned. Like, that's the only convention that I have for February. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to Maxi for this weekend, so sadly not gonna be able to go there. For March, I'm already confirmed for late March. Like for the Leipziger Buchmesse, I'm going to be there for 4 days. Oh, it's going to be hard. And oh yeah, good news is I am proceeding with my online shop. Like the whole paperwork that I needed to get done, it's proceeding well. Now I just need to sign up for the whole Lucid ID thingy, like the whole Recyclable German Law Packaging Act, whatever it is, to get my registered number. When that all is set up, my Etsy shop will be up, and ideally it will be up this February as well. You guys will be receiving like a timely announcement for at least 1 or 2 weeks in advance, like, oh, I'm opening my shop at X date, and I will be promoting it as well. So if you're interested in getting merch from me, look forward to it, because you will now have the opportunity to order it online. Yay! Okay, but for the next time that I'll read Umineko, that's probably going to be either on the 15th of February or on the 22nd. I can't make any promises yet, preferably sooner than later because shit's getting too interesting right now. But alright, that's pretty much it. The only things that I can confirm for next week is art as usual on Tuesday. By chance, if I decide something else, I'll notify that. I'll try to make a schedule for the rest of February so that you guys have all kind of like an idea what I'll do. But okay, let's see who we can raid before I wrap up for today. I'm going to be raiding Spacey again. She's playing Liji? Yeah, I guess. So I'll be raiding her again. And thank you all guys for coming. I hope you guys had a good time. And I will be seeing you next Tuesday with some art or maybe something else. And I hope you all have a good weekend tonight. Bye bye. Good night, my honeys. Bye.